Hello, in this video we will discuss about the growth and development in plant. So the growth is the irreversible changes of number of cell which development which means while the development is the formation of new organs and tissue. It is also known as the embryogenic development and organogenesis because the different organs will be formed while the growth is the number of cells will be increased through mitosis while the specialized cell formation is known as the development of the plant. So here we will discuss about just the plant growth and development in different manner. We will discuss secondary and primary. So in this way, basically the plant growth pattern called open growth because it's open growth. It means the multiple direction of the growth and throughout the life elongation of roots, shoot, stem grow and develop. While the development is also occur as compared to the human or animal, which that is the development is limited, while the growth is also limited. So here is the plant for development and growth is important factor is the carbon dioxide, light and water, which that in the presence of chlorophyll, the photosynthesis to produce the sugar, starch and cell division, basically the energy requirement from the sugar. So the oxygen is the byproduct and water is also produce the respiration. So the photosynthesis promote the growth and development. Why? Because it provides the sugar and sugar use the ATP to produce the cell division, etc., etc. So the phase of growth we will discuss if so the single cell will proliferate and divide, so the stem cell will produce the many specialized and unspecialized cells. While here we will discuss about the growth, so we will understand about the number of cell division, number of the cell growth. So the first is the cell division. After the cell division, there are many more cells will be formed. While in the next phase is a zone of elongation. Elongation means that cell will increase their structure and size, basically increase their size, and due to the size elongation for the bending of the plant or tips of root and shoot, and it is also used for the basically also used for it. So it's absorb water and turgidity is also important factor for the growth. So the maturation and final size, so the development and maturation, so the development we will discuss and differentiation or maturation we will discuss. So in this way the plant stem we will discuss. So the pith, cortex, xylem and phloem. There are different tissue which that is responsible for the different function of the plant for the normal life. So that is the developed cell and it is differentiated and it is known as a development. While the growth is the first time and after the growth the development will be occur in the embryo to form a mature plant. So let's begin to understand the when the last important factor we will discuss when the cell enlargement ceases. When the cell enlargement ceases, the process of differentiation starts. So during this growth phase, the wall of cell become thicker. The wall of many kinds of cell and tissue become pitted. So the pitted formation, and that is the development time, and that means the differentiation of, for example, xylem and phloem for water conduction and food conduction through phloem, while the water conduction is through xylem. So that is the important things. So let's draw a bigger picture for understanding the root and stem, the shoot system and root system for understanding. So here is the root system, shoot system. The shoot system is used for the photosynthesis and it is important and responsible for the growth due to the sugar as well as the production of starch. So leaf are green and contain chlorophyll. So here is the intercalary meristem and shoot apical meristem. You can see axillary bud are present and vascular tissue. And here is the root apical meristem, which that is responsible for the cell division. So the apical meristem is used for primary growth. So the apical meristem is always with related to the primary growth, while the primary xylem and primary phloem will be occur. While the secondary growth is due to the cambium ring, we will discuss also. So the cambium ring is very important for the secondary growth. So here is the tip of the shoot we can see, and this is the apical meristem and leaf primordia are present. So this leaf primordia is the precursor of the mature leaf. And here is the leaf base you can see. And the axillary bud. And axillary bud produce the leaves axial stem, axial position of the stem. A region where vascular tissue will form. So inside is the middle side is the region where vascular tissue will be formed. So here let's begin to understand the apical root meristem, which that contain here is the root cap. Root cap is very important and it is used for the penetration of the root into the soil. While here is the apical meristem is looking like this, and this is the cortex outer region, and the region where vascular tissue will be formed here. And this is the basically is the you can see the elongation zone, and here is the maturation zone, and this is the zone of cell division. So the zone of cell division, between their three zones there are some distance, uh, create some distance. It means the zone of cell division is the anterior side, while the maturation will begin from the later on. After the zone of cell division will become a zone of elongation and zone of maturation, and during the maturation the later on that will be mature the cell. So that is the growth and development. So the development will be occur after the growth. So remember about that. First growth and second one is the development. So here is the type of growth we will discuss, the primary growth and secondary growth. So the primary tissue added by the apical meristem is known as the primary growth, while the secondary growth means the secondary tissue is added by the intercalary or vascular cambium, leading to increase in thickness. So the thickness will be increased. So the condition of growth factor we will discuss here, just for understanding now. So this is vascular cambium inside, that is the ring-like structure will divide the cell to produce inside xylem, while the outside is the phloem. So that is important things you should need to understand about that. It means the cambium ring will produce the cell's outer side is the phloem, while the inner side is the xylem. While the core cambium is also present, it is used for this to produce the bark and the bark uh, upper part and cortex. So this is the vascular cambium. Let's begin to understand important things and condition of growth factor first. So the condition of growth factor, which that is very deeply affect to the plant growth and development. So how it is possible we will discuss. First is the light. Light requires the photosynthesis, so the too much light is increase the growth, but the decrease of the light will inhibit the growth. While in this case basically the when we will provide the more light, so that will inhibit also the growth due to the high intensity of light for and oxygen and carbon dioxide, water and nutrients, which that is important factors. So that when we will provide more nutrients, so the external factor can be light, water, and we will discuss temperature. So the light is important factor, and temperature also, because the high temperature will cease the growth due to the transpiration and respiration to cool down the plant. So the here is the water is also important, because the water is very important for photosynthesis. So that is why the water is very important external factor. While the nutrition is also when provide more nutrition, and oxygen and carbon dioxide is also. While the external internal factor is hormone, enzyme, and vitamins. Hormones is basically, for example, indole acid, which that is used for the elongation, and enzyme, for example, ribisco is used for the photosynthesis in dark reaction, while the vitamin can be compound synthesis within the plant bodies. In the presence of light, deficiency sees the growth. So the deficiency of the vitamin will seize the growth. So thanks for watching. This was the growth and development in plant overviews. So bye.